Hello. Sitting here doing nothing but sewing on strips, so I thought I'd see if anybody was out here. It's Black Friday. I don't plan on doing any of the shopping. Uh, Quiet day. Got no grandkids for a few days. Great grandkids, I should say. Just sewing 1.5 inch strips, sashing strips on. I want to see if anybody else is sewing. I didn't see anybody else on, so I thought, why not? I'm one subscriber away from 500. I haven't figured out if I was going to do anything yet. Didn't know if anybody had any plans or anything. Hi, Joseph. Yeah, Darlene, what am I sewing? Strips. It's like, how's Joseph today? Hello, Marla. Oh, looking to get my print bigger. That good old increase the zoom. Thanksgiving was great. I ate my one little serving, didn't bring any leftovers home except for my stuffing and whatnot. Oh no, Marla, you didn't catch a cold. And good morning, Janice. And so Terry. Well, it's morning in my neck of the woods. But it's like, got to see 3 of the great grandkids. I didn't hold any because I want to try to get over what they give me. Alicia has a ear infection. It's not strep throat, just an ear infection. So she's on antibiotic. So she was passing around those gummies with elderberry and something else. Oh, good morning, Darlene. I should say that up there too. Instead of, you know what I'm sewing on. Was playing with one of my projects that's on the shelf behind me. Was playing with that pattern last night. It's very similar to this, except for it's going to have a 8.5 inch start square. I want to keep the fabric tension out there, so to make it a focal point. But one at a time. But I'm just sewing some of the strips on. My house is super quiet. Bailey won't go outside because it's 29 degrees. I thought Huskies was Alaska dogs. I guess they gotta be born in Alaska. She's a California girl. But yes, we hope Marla gets better. Yeah, it's like, even when I'm sick and miserable, I'll come in and sew. It's either, hi Lorraine, and happy Black Friday to everybody. It's like, I did it. I did that early morning stuff, and I had to get up earlier yet to be there. Their 5:30 opening. Means we live an hour away from every place. And I decided after 2 years of it, it's not for me. Some of those customers on Black Friday are wicked. You shouldn't have to fight to get what's in your hand, because they will rip it out of your hand. I thought that was only on TV. Hi, Susan. You made it over the mountain and back? Just fine? I see you had good weather for that. How much fabric did you use? Mine is, see, I've cut 1 yard so far at 1.5-inch strips. Marla's doing a similar quilt, or Darlene's doing a similar quilt up here. And I'm going to be with your wicked with tomorrow with the family. You're going to be wicked. I did bring home I made a double batch of stuffing, and so I'm going to freeze my 1 bag of stuffing, the other one, because Christmas is not far away. It should be just fine until then, because I sure don't need to eat that much. Hello, Prep for Eternity. The trip over was foggy, much better than snow, less foggy on the trip back. That's good, Susan. Yeah, when I was going out to Casey's here in town, wasn't foggy. As soon as I got ready to cross the interstate, well, where the heck the fog come from? It's just saying mostly cloudy, but I can't see the house up on the hill, so I know it's foggy. So it's a good day to sew and stay out of the Black Friday rush. I did my Amazon order, I think about 2 o'clock this morning, and my Walmart.com order. I can't see sky. And so I got that all taken care of. Seen a commercial the other day for the game's called Greedy Granny. And she has a tray of cookies on her lap. She's in a recliner. And when she reclines, it starts the game, and then you have to try to pick the goodie off of the tray. When the weight or something's just right, she'll sit up in the recliner and her teeth go shooting out. And if you're pulling that thing off at that time, guess what? You lost. Seen that commercial, and Alani watched. Hi, Gladys. She just laughs and laughs and laughs at watching that little video that they have with the game. And then, of course, they put another game. So Grumpy Grandpa was always on there. I figure if I'm going to get Greedy Granny, I might as well get Grumpy Grandpa to go with it, right? Okay, put that piece up there for now. Gotta press this strip because I can add a piece on each end, and then for the next line because I needed two of number 9 squares. If I counted right, I counted it twice. Don't trust my brain anymore. Hello, Dorlyn. Colorado Springs, Colorado. I gotta check that out someday. I haven't been to Colorado. Haven't been to Texas. Haven't been to Ohio. I should have when I was back in Indiana and Illinois. Don't know why. My husband back then didn't like traveling as much as he did in his later. I guess he finally realized maybe he should have listened to me and traveled more. But I miss the shop hops we used to go on. It was just fun seeing other quilt stores. But it's like, and they would all be very truthful. It's like, we think they're truthful. Because, like, one time we asked, why do you sell sewing machines and why do you sell this? Because quilt shops are in all. I have enough room for you anytime, if not on the road with the mountain biking group. Okay. Black Friday shopping for me was calling the drain guy this morning. Oh, no. Yeah, there went your cha-ching. A lot of plumbers say they don't have holidays, though, so they don't charge you extra. Heck, mine won't come out on a weekend unless I'm willing to pay that cha-ching to get them out there double time. It's like, nuh-uh. I just calling you to set it up. It's like, now my watch is stuck. I'm stuck to my shelf here. The watch went down between the wires. So I'll just hang it up here. I'm not going to get stuck down like that again. Yeah, I was going to just hit the corner of Colorado on a trip. Just to say I was in Colorado. I was going to go to the first town and buy a postcard if I could find one. We used to take pictures of the state. You know, you're now entering Colorado. We used to stop and take pictures there. But it's like the grandkids, when we went to California, Austin and Michaela, we stopped so they could run on the side of the road. And they go, why do you want us on the other side? I says, because on the other side it says entering Oregon. There wasn't one when we entered the other way. So they got to run across the highway. But Highway 101 is always busy. But it's just a two wide road. I left Ohio one year in April. Yeah, that sounds about right. See, what was I doing? Figure out which way needs what. Where's that picture? If it wasn't for that picture. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I need a short square and a long square. I need a corner. So down here, I need the corner piece. And I used the scraps from trimming off these. I've used the scraps to make these ones. And then I've used the scraps after that. It's like anybody that knows me, I sewed them back together and made all these 4.5-inch triangles. Hi, Barbara. Chat, how is everyone doing today? I'm doing fine. Doing my normal. Okay, so this is the top. And this is where this needs to go. And for setting this one in down here, I need to know where the middle is, because I made them oversized. But no matter what, I would do that. It's a setting corner. And then I take my setting corner triangle. I finger press down there. Line them to up, put the pin in it. Put a pin in it. So I can then sew that together. It's like messenger. I'm looking and asking anyone if they have sewn sweatshirts into a quilt. My mom passed away a week ago, and my sister wants to give her sweatshirts to make a blanket. The sweatshirt you treat the same way as a t-shirt. That's what I did with the sweatshirts. I have put in memory quilts, horse warming blankets also, and I treated them all the same. I put that stabilizer on the back of the sweatshirt just like you would the t-shirt, because sweatshirts do have some stretch to them. The stabilizer, I think it comes in, when I bought it, it only came in 16-inch wide. And it's is it the woven? You can Google a t-shirt stabilizer and it should bring it up. I can't remember the Pellon number. I can't remember. I got to order some myself because I have some t-shirts of my own right here. Because I'm known for my tie-dye t-shirts with my kids. FS 101 or PS 101? So I'm going to go ahead and press this one now. Because I had both the woven type and the non-woven type. And I couldn't remember. When you get the sweatshirt all done, if you do machine quilt or long arm, anything special, or you want to just tie, P44F. Okay. Tie your quilt depending on your batting. What I would do is tie in the four corners of the quilt to where your knot sides are up. And then I do what I call reverse tie. Out in the middle, I tie it, but the knot goes to the back. That way it isn't interfering with the t-shirt in the middle. That reverse tie has been a joy for me because you can tie it and you don't have to see all the strings. And then I use, I don't use yarn. I use the crochet cotton. I like crochet cotton and the surgeon's knot. Okay, if this is this way, this is this way. Well, that would work. And then you could hide the end of the instead of having the tie string stick up, you could go back and hide them underneath the button. That would be cute. Another memory of Mom. The sweatshirt quilt's going to be heavier. Hi, June Hansen. Because I would just sew them on like a button and then hide the thread. For sure. As June finally got awake enough. Heavy is great for me. Okay. It's like if I'm cold, I fold my quilt over on top of me. I fold it in half and then have that extra. But I made my husband's shirts, what he had, into pillows for my kids. So means I wear tie-dye all the time. I'm going to make covers for the same pillow that he wears because his you can unsnap it and take it off and wash it. No, you're fine. It's like we've all had different. My quilting went overboard when my husband passed away. I think I sat at the sewing machine for 8 months and sewed and sewed and sewed. And then I go, there's other things I got to do. Plus, I took care of, everything around the house. Mowing the lawn, pulling the weeds. Ugh. But keeping occupied and crying is allowed. But you just keep thinking happy thoughts while you're sewing it together because it's all good memories. I'm going to pin this one back up here for the moment. Of course, I didn't get it closed. Sorry for having my back to you. My wall's not big enough. The pieces end up hanging on the floor. And then I have to watch the dog when she comes in. Because it's like, it's all right there a mess. I sorted scraps for 2 days, but it's done. Hi, Bernice. I had a great Thanksgiving. Got to spend time with. Here, I thought I did all these. Guess I should look on the wall. I was putting the green sashing on the one side. Because that's one thing you can do to, like if you're putting these on point. It's like I can put the green sashing on the home side of the log cabin quilt, because that's considered the home block. Okay, see what I have for strips up here. Just add. Hi, yo, Patty. And the Sew Sisters. Do I dare ask Yo Patty how many stockings? 1.5 yards of yes, that should be enough. Hi, Cheryl. I love your show. I found out I have. It's like. Yeah. When I first made the first t-shirt quilt, we bought like so many yards. 6, I think it was. We ended up buying it several times. We ended up buying so many extra yardage. And she bought again. But I did t-shirt on both front and back of the quilt. Because it was. Why did you break again, thread? There's no reason for you to break. Except for you're being ornery. Okay. Yeah. And I had so many t-shirts from this guy. He went to Sturgis every year. He was a Harley owner. And his son saved all of his t-shirts and his do-rags. So I incorporated his do-rags. I put stabilizer on the back of the do-rags just to make them last longer yet. So I did t-shirts and do-rags on the back of the quilt. And then I still had t-shirts left. So I took and made a bag for the quilt out of some of the t-shirts. And that way they could store it in that when it wasn't out on display. I didn't make any. I had to make much issues going on since August. Well, it's called burnout. You'll double up next year. Just stick with your 100 goal. It's like, there's just so much going on out there. I got the quilt done when I had her give me the information for the label on the back, because it's like in memory of and his name and the date of death. I got it done just in time for the 10th anniversary of his passing. And I thought, when I seen that date, I worked harder yet to get that thing done, so they would have it in memory on the 10th anniversary. But the son packed the t-shirts and stuff for, 9+ years. And his girlfriend says, "What are you going to do with these?" He says, "I don't know. I think I'll just trash them now." She says, "No, can I have them?" And then Melinda just happened to work at the place that she did for a little bit. And Melinda says, "My mom could do that." Love when the kids. Hi, Cheryl. Okay. And so she inquired, and I said I would do it. Wasn't guaranteeing anything. Then she brought down that stack of t-shirts. And I'm thinking, oh my, what did I put myself into? But I really enjoyed making it. But going through my photos and my messenger, I inquired. She has then since married the gentleman. And so I asked her how they liked the quilt, and they said it's out in memory of the dad. Hi, Brenda. Yep, it is Friday, and for anybody that works, they're probably going to enjoy this day. But if you don't, my days just all run together. Okay, got to cut a big strip to get a little strip. Did you just hang your pretty purple stocking? Yes, seen that picture also. It's like all the memories that we have from quilting and friends. I was waiting for Alani to want a pink one. And then I'd have to go buy pink yarn. I still have the photo that you sent with the thank you. My kids are going to have a lot of stuff to deal with when it comes that day. Yeah. I have, I think, 60 bags, feed bags from my son that I got to get made into grocery bags. When I used mine yesterday, I go, why am I fiddling with those plastic things? Okay, Terry. I know you'll be listening. She'll be out of the chat, but she'll still be listening. Feed bags make awesome bags. Yeah, it's the grain, the dust that still comes out of them. It's that dust that still comes out of them. I guess I better grab this last one here. I just remember there is another one right here. But sewing all this stashing, it works. Because I've cut 36 inches up so far on making this sashing. I found this huge panel of a seed bag thingy. Not sure what to do with it. Maybe she's going to incorporate it into a bag also. But I make it to where my bags, when they were sitting on the floor, here, I'll grab it because it's right here. When mine sit, it looks like the chicken's walking across the floor. That was what I was trying to, but it's layer feed. But I have horses, chickens, dogs, cows, pigs. And when you go to the store, I like how they stand up so you can put stuff in it. But I made 6 for each one of my kids. My grandkids got so many a piece when they brought in this bag thing. And I've used them for camping. We have some that we know by the animal on it that it's dirty clothes bag. Christmas will be another trip across the mountain. Got my 30 notice. So we'll be going into high gear with packing and the rest of my apartment up. Ugh. Well, you have fun with that one, Susan. So Ronnie thought that was a great thing. So she has one in her RV. She carries clean clothes out in certain ones and dirty clothes in the other one. Then if you want, you can throw it in the wash machine, but I just hose it out. Take it outside and spray it down good. Let it air dry. Because dirty clothes can be pretty smelly when you're out. I have cloth ones and I have these ones. The cashiers don't like these as much because they're used to putting our used bag back on the thing to fill it. So I make sure to get down and bag it. But I put a layer of heavy stuff on the bottom and then all lighter stuff on top. And I don't have where the collapse and everything goes everywhere. Yes, Bernice. You all those bags that you probably have shoved garbage in and thrown them out, you can reuse them. And what I did is I open up all the seams. And then I figure out where I can cut a 3-inch strip, whether it's on top or bottom, but I work around the design on there. And this is just the 3-inch, folded 1 inch, 1 inch, 1 inch, and then I top stitch it or blanket stitch it. And that's my handles, the 6 inches I cut off. And then I try to keep this, I think this is 20 inches high. I've made some shorter. Depends on the picture in the bag. But the grain that was still, the grain dust that was still in these. So now I have them all rinsed out. I took the time to open them. Just a minute. I'll be right back. My kids will say I'm too organized. I have them, all the tops taken off, all the bottoms. So these are all prepared. They've been rinsed and dried. So like on this one here, I would just sew the bottom, leave that. I would cut my 6 inches off up here. That way I keep all the dog. Because I have dog, the Loyal Active. My son bought this dog food so I could have the picture of the dog. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4. And then they had this other one. It's amazing what you can find. Then there was this dog one. So one of the 3-inch strips would come off the bottom here, and the other one will come off the top of this one. But I love making sure the picture stays there. And it's a little bit taller bag. But this has got, 1, 2, 3. There's 5 bags in this one. I have stack in the other room. Yeah, I could do that. It's another idea. Yeah, you do turn it. Here. My stuffing was wrapped in towels. Okay. It might be a little noisy. I was going to start cutting them up. Get it right side out. No, there's no food in there, Bailey, for you. That was the fun thing. When Tuffy and Oreo, when I had my dogs, they would eat any of the grain that fell out of the bags. It didn't matter if it was chicken food, dog food, cat food. But you turn the bag inside out, and I sew a 1/2 inch twice. I sew 2 seams, a 1/2 inch in, and then just a little bit on the other side, because I want it reinforced. And then I open it up and I do the squared corner bag of the bag. And I do not cut these off. And they're double sewed. I want to make sure that the bottom doesn't go out. But I just leave them on there and then turn them back right side out. My tops, I fold down and it's double up here also. But you just do the whatever size the bag is what these end up being. But I like doing, is it the 5 inch? Let me see. 6 inch. 6 inch squared bottom. I guess that's why it says 6 and 6 here. This one actually has my numbers written on it. And then I measure, I think it's, again, when the bag's laying flat, it's 5.5. I go 5.5 in on each side for the handles. And then I sew around them and reinforce them. Then I start getting fancy. Some get X's, some don't. It's like, just depends on my mood for the day. A 4-H group here used feed bags to make tote bags as a service project a few years ago. But my son, now he buys his grain for the pigs in bulk. So he gets a great big, it holds 1,000 pounds. So I've reused that bag. We used it for a windbreak on a building that we had. Okay, Bernice. But they're so easy. And I've ran it through the washing machine just to see if it would survive. And then I went to our local food bank. And I was in there one day. They was bagging the rice. And they buy rice in like 50 or 60 pound bags. And it's got a beautiful Oriental Asian girl or something on there. And I says, can I have that empty bag? They kind of destroyed how they opened the top. I just give them, when I get them open like they are right now, complete top, bottom, I just put them in the shower. I just put them in the shower and rinse them out and let them dry. Now, if you get horse feed ones, because the horse feed usually has, I think it's molasses, because the horse is like something that's sweet. Those there, you have to actually use Dawn dish soap, and it might take I put them in the tub. I put 3-4 inches of water in the tub. And I run it, let the water go in and out of it several times. And then I turn it because it's super sticky. So then I let it dry and then I turn it right side out or right side in. I turn it. And then I wash it one more time because that molasses is super sticky. But I think I have grain bags everywhere. But we still get dog food and stuff. But you got to be resourceful. That's for sure. Because it's like reduce, reuse, recycle. And these have been, I made my first ones even before we had to buy. Because I'm always using a bag for something. Carrying, like I carried my stuffing, paper plates and whatnot that I had to bring to Thanksgiving yesterday. But after doing the first ones without cleaning them, my allergies was acting over time. And then the dust, it's like, it was terrible. But when you make them, plan to make them all at once. And then throw away your needle or put your needle aside and mark it for your bags. because it's not nice on needles. So if you have an old needle, if you're changing your sewing machine needle here in the near future, save it for sewing the bags. And I just use regular cotton thread. I didn't buy anything special. I kept the stitch length at the 2.5. I've learned so much from all the YouTube friends, what knowledge and tips from her. Oh, it's like, yeah, that's how we learn from someone else's mistakes also. Yeah, I thought I could make that horse one, the bag, and then wash it later. No, that was too much. I was a sticky mess. So I had to come up with something for the horse feed bag. Now I have to do a row of 7 on this. Oh, did I? Oh, no. I see what June's. I thought I missed somebody else. I try not to miss anybody, but I get busy, distracted. But that rice one, I have my camping stuff. I used the rice bags, and then when I went to the food bank, they had one that had I don't know what kind of beans. They was brownish with little red spots. Pinto beans, maybe. But it came with a little boy, and it's a softer bag than these are. And that's my husband's camping bag. One was for his sheets that went on his bed, because our camper is not a standard camper. We have 2 twin beds that are like 20 inches apart. We have a nightstand that we set up between them when the beds come down. And so he was always the farmer ones, and I was always the rice one, the Asian ones. But you can look around at different bags. I've even bought a bag of feed corn for deer because it has a big buck on it. And then I fed the corn to my son's pigs because I wanted that bag that bad. So I need one of 7. That one doesn't match that one. That one doesn't match that. Oh, I should be putting these upside down. And Barbara's saying, I learned so much from these lovely people and ask questions. Never know, somebody may have the answer, but we'll find that answer for you. Yeah, I am good at taking time to Google. Okay. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And that's 5. And then 3 and 1. Ew, I got enough. It's like you can count these blocks and count these blocks, and you can still come up with, what did I do wrong? How did I miss 1? I just was looking to make sure I didn't have too many alike. Now I have to sew 7 of these blocks together because I'm doing this on point. And then I have to add on this one 2 of these edges. Might have to look at the picture. I have made for height chairs, my grandkids, with the great grandkids, the height chair thing that goes in the high chair. It's not easy washable. So I have bought that vinyl bag making stuff, and I've made 3-inch long buttonholes so the seatbelt can still come through, because they can just wipe them down. They don't have to put them in the wash machine all the time, because that was getting to be a nuisance because it wouldn't be dry by the time the next meal. I go, why would they make high chair padded things and not have them washable? That, they're probably in it to get you to buy another one. So, because the kid isn't going to be clean, and spaghetti makes the worst mess. So I made one out of green camouflage that I was going to make. I still have enough. I was going to make me a bag with the green camouflage. And it's now went through all 3 kids. All 3 of the great grandkids. That's their liner. And I didn't even have the old one to make a pattern. I had her take a picture, and then we measured in different spots. And I made it just going through the phone to here. And then the next time I went up, I took it up and put it on the high chair. The fun part was making a 3-inch buttonhole. Because the buttonholer don't go to 3 inches. But if you hold your finger up with that lever, you can get it to make a bigger one. I figured out how to maneuver that buttonholer. And that'll be the last kid. When they sell the height chair, when Cade's out of it, that cushion will probably go with it. The cloth one and the other one. And then I have some more because I bought in case they wanted a girly one, which they didn't. So I'm thinking about making that just into a bag. It's purple. Is it purple with elephants? I'd have to even find it. I bought one yard of it. It was so cute. I had to have it. I've never done a buttonhole. My machine instructions say it's not. No, it's not hard. Because at first, like when I first started, it's the widest zigzag stitch on the shortest stitch length, but the widest. And then you have to change it down to go to the left side or the right side. But it's like I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 buttonhole stitches on my machine. I haven't figured out which ones to use yet, but I actually put that little foot thing that they have on my machine and then played with the lever would kick off on different things back here. or the lever that puts your machine into reverse. I've hit that a time or two with my hand. But just make it to practice on some scraps. Excuse me. You get dry throat when you start talking. I have juice here, but it doesn't always stop. Yeah, the 4-step, because it's the white stitch at one side, the little stitch down the right side, white stitch, and then it's reverse on the left side to go back up. You're going to have lots of things to play with, Barbara. It's like I have a chicken block that I designed that I made into a quilt. And I want to put eyes back on, but I'm not going to use buttons because of the great grandkids. I'm going to use little wool circles. Oh, it's like you just gotta make time. See, we have friends that get together through Messenger, and Messenger is where you can see what I'm doing now, and I can see you, but nobody else out there in the world can. And we sew together that way. That way, it's like sewing with a friend because we can talk to each other. Darlene and June will tell you that, and Marla. It's like we could get together and sew, but it can be distracting. Ask Marla. She has sewed wrong blocks. She says that's when she does her most mistakes. Some people can't have a distraction and some people can. If I make a mistake, I just pick up my Plum Crazy seam ripper because he's plum in color. And I hate when I bring him out. Let's see, I have all 7 of them sewed together now. Now I have to press them. I press into the sashing because the bulk is the seam of the block. This really and truthfully is fat quarters and some scrap yardage I had of this purple up here. And I still have scraps. I think the scraps multiply. The picture that was on Facebook had it done with purples and greens, and Laura that's out on a cruise, she tagged me in it because she knew I would make it. Yeah. And I use my smaller scraps. They all go to dog. We are over here. They're still taking the pillowcase dog beds with the scraps because they can't get beds other ways. If they have to throw them in the garbage when they get torn up or whatever, at least it's not big money because dog beds aren't cheap anymore. I think Melinda paid $80 for this last one Bailey has. And it needs some fluffing up in the middle. It's starting to look like a bird's nest. And I take it, pick it up, and I fluff it up. Maybe that's where Bailey gets it. She can throw it. Because I have to fluff it. Because it starts looking too much like a donut hole. Or a bird's nest. Okay, now I have to sew. I might have to cut out another strip. Might have to do that. Looking to see what I have laying around here. I got these 1.5 short ones. This is all I have for leftovers so far. Got to see if this will work. Oh, I guess I better sew my green one on this end. But I'll see what I need. There is no pattern on this one. It's a simple, to me, it's a simple quilt. Oh, thank you, Barbara. Yeah, I'll have to cut another strip. But in the meantime, I can finish. And it's like, I don't know if I can see how many people are subscribed to me. I was one away from 500. It's like, I didn't think I'd get to 400, let alone 500. It's a slow going. So I can sew the blocks together because my cutting table's in the other room. I use my kitchen countertop. I have to have it cleaned off occasionally because dinners do happen. Dinners do happen. Still need one. You're at 490. We're doing good, Terry. We're doing good. You made a slip cover for your garbage pail? I had to make one for my friend the other day, last year, or early this year. I had to make her a cover for the table for her sister's memorial out of a certain print of material. They was trying to keep to some of their Indian heritage. And then she says, my garbage pail is ugly. What can I do? So, did you make a liner for yours? I made a liner out of muslin for her inside, and then her outside is just a beautiful Indian print that she had. It's amazing what we can make. She says, you gonna make yourself one? I says, no, I'm keeping it under the kitchen sink. So it's behind closed doors. Her sits right out in plain sight. And she liked the liner part also. Because it's like, she says she never puts messy garbage in there. But she can wash it and it goes right back and uses it. Okay, there's that one. Now I have to pick 3 of these. 1, 2, 3. I have to put green on all the sides of this one. So, good thing you have a yard and a half, Darlene. Might need it. I wasted some 1/2 inch because I cut mine in groups 12 inches because I starched. I just put a plastic bag liner, even though I don't put food or sticky stuff in there. It's for your sewing scraps. My sewing scrap one is like, it has this Amazon bag is for garbage. I've folded the corners over. It sits on top. There's a plastic bag. This is for the small scraps that go in the dog bag. And all the bigger scraps go underneath. That's where all the bigger scraps go. So this just sits on top of there. And then this sits under, and I just throw the little pieces into here. And when this gets full, I put them in the dog. I have another bigger bag for the dog scraps. I had to move it. It was over here. So now I have to get used to being a left-hand scrap thrower. Because it's in the way of, I have the wagon right here that Delaney sleeps in. And then being she's not going to be here for a few days, I have her bouncy chair in there. And then when I wash the blankets and burp rag that I keep here, when I get them washed in her bib, then it all goes in the corner until it's Delaney time again. And then they all get put where they need to be. So I need 2 more strips. So 34 strips is what I've used. Oh, Barbara just joined you, Terry. So you got $4.91. I've never thought, Terry, you could have put your stuff up there in case somebody else in here isn't. If you would, if you want. She's my moderator. I don't make them put them up there unless they want to. Hi, Denise. Yeah, you come on the other day just as we was leaving, or you was lurking. One of the two. Okay. Yeah. So the green goes on this end. Well, that bag was so thick and bulky. I go, what do I do with it? So I folded down the top to where it stays open. And then my garbage is always dry garbage in here because it's strings and paper and that. I thought, why not? I love joining and listening to all of you. I've heard enough. Oh, then I get battery saver pop up over it. Some days it's just so relaxing and others are inspiring. Great group of people out here. Love you all. Well, thank you, Barbara. Yeah, I go listen to Terry. I like listening to her accent and watch her rebuild. On mine, I have a couple of videos that are farm related because I was just goofing off. Hi, Sarah. You're loading your long arm? I'm still putting mine off. I have to work around somebody's kennel. I wish I had a place to put Bailey's other kennel. They took the big outdoor kennel. Now I have that indoor travel, whatever you call it. She has, I think, another kennel that collapses smaller than this one. I was going to put Alan in it the other day. He would just go, 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 go. And then I can't do it. Packing another box. I'm hoping to get my mom's sewing machine. Not sure what it is or what it does or how old. I'm just excited to hopefully get it. I hope you do. My toadpoodle Jasmine is always under my feet no matter what room I'm in. I have Bailey, especially if I'm in the kitchen or I make a noise that sounds like I'm rattling into something good to eat. And Bernice, so true, Barbara. So Terry has restoring of featherweight. I do not own one yet. I do own one. And then I bought a 66. And at 66, the one thing's been a bugger. And it's like every once in a while I try again. I oil it. Someday it's going to come out. Someday. I've had several trying to help me, but no luck on that one. You have a treadle singer. Belt is rotten, but it worked. Well, belts are easy to buy. This 66 was originally that's what it was meant for. Yes. Belle, my other toy poodle, don't care where I'm at unless I'm in the kitchen. Yeah? It's like somebody just come back in. Oh, she's smelling these bags here. Okay, this one gets this last piece. Because I know it's a corner. So I will do my folds and finger press. Do my fold. And finger press. That way I can at least... Okay. Well, thank you for stopping by, Barbara. No guarantee if I'm going to be here or not. But thank you for coming by. I do have the old rotary in cabinet, I believe, from the 30s. I found it at Goodwill for $25. It does light up, but don't know absolutely nothing about it. Little bit of research. That's all you need to do. Before I went and purchased mine, I sent the picture to Terry because we're friends. By way of YouTube brought us together. I like its unique case that it has. It does have that, a very unique case. You don't even know I have a sewing machine out there, and it has a chair. Because I have my featherweight's a 48 and my 66 is a 1927. I wanted my grandma's sewing machines, and I didn't get that option. Firstborn granddaughter should have got some options, I thought. But my aunt put them in yard sale. Didn't tell me she's even having a yard sale. I live 120 miles away. But it would mean more to me because it was grandma's. don't know what happened to great grandmas, because when she passed, I didn't live close by either. One, two, and three. Making sure I have the green in the right spot. So Terry is a great resource. I spent hours trying to find the age of my vintage singer, and in just minutes after mentioning it on YouTube Live, she had the answer. Yeah, just Google into the Sears or singer thing. I know so many people have trouble finding their years, and I don't know why. I just put what year is my singer, and it took me right to the site. Does it have an app also? But my 66 came with this, looked like a giant O-ring that was so stretched out of shape, it was unreal. And it was something else. So put this 10-inch strip on here. Then I have all the little parts done, except for gotta cut more strips. 2 more strips, I think, will get me. I don't know. I'll cut 3. Singer even has one of on the original sewing cabinets. My sewing cabinet says patent pending on it. And it has where the sewing machine, there's a plug that goes and sits on the back plywood wall. And then I just plug in a regular cord to it. So I didn't have a short cord except for on my snow blowers. So I just kind of borrowed my snow blowers cord. It wasn't using it. Austin, well, how are you going to start your snow blower? I can use a 50-foot extension cord to start it. As long as anything has a plug and power goes through it. But I didn't want 50-foot of cord in my house. And I think it's about a 6 or 8 footer. And that way I didn't have to go make one. I have 2 because I have 2 snow blowers. I have to see if I can get the one running. One, where's that piece of wood? The one starts up every year. We switched from regular unleaded to unleaded premium with no ethanol. And since then, I have no issues. That stable did not work. I don't believe in stable now. I believe in buying premium gas with no ethanol in it. And my snowblower, lawnmowers, everything, they start up and I don't have to fight with them. I watched several videos on how they work, but still need to know more to figure out what the problem is. Yeah. You just, it'll come to you. Like I have that stubborn one. She sews perfectly fine. So what Terry, Tracy, and I've decided, it's like, it's not broke. Don't fix it yet. Just keep it oiled. That's what I'm doing. Just keeping it oiled. Okay, now I can take one of these. It hangs this way. So it goes down this way. Yes, that Sarah, I agree. It's like on my UTV, my snow blowers, even though it's mixed gas, it's still that gas is what causes them to gum up. My weed eater. Yeah. I know I need to sew on her more, but Alani's got her toys all around it. And Alani thinks it's her desk. Alani calls it her desk. That's my 4-year-old great granddaughter. So anybody that doesn't know. But I like the hidden chair that's there. I do want to put her up on wheels. I do want to do that. Okay, now this one here, this thing has to point up like this. Guess I better trim the piece off first. I've made, 2 of the Jacob's ladder blocks off of my 66. And then school started, so now it's harder to get to her because great grandkids, they do get seniority. They have to have a play space. And Alani does not like being in a room by herself. She does at her house, but she won't here. Sometimes I think it's the noise Ace makes. Okay, that's up. It's up like this. And this. If I get them together wrong, it's just a date with Jack, or plum crazy in my case. If I get them off. She's got her own thread now. I'm going to take all the thread off of the old thread off the spools. I'm going to keep track of how many different colors they put on a spool. They would just put thread on to get to the next project, I guess, is how it worked. But we get wrapped up in so many projects. It isn't funny. You wouldn't think this 3 would connect to a 1, but it does. This part of the quilt now, going back from because I went from the longest point, I'm now going back down to the shortest group. That's one nice thing about on point quilts. Figuring out the setting triangles, because this wasn't solid material, that was a challenge because used up all these stripes, because that was what was in the picture. Now this group of 3. Oops. I gotta unstitch. I gotta unstitch up here because I gotta put that green on. It's like I went too far on this one. So I have to dig out plumb crazy. I put the horse before the cart before the horse. I'm missing a piece of fabric because I didn't go cut it yet. And I cannot put this seam ripper in between and just rip down like people do. I have to do the every 3 to 4 stitches. And then pull the string from the other side. I put a hole in my fabric every single time. I've tried and I've tried. I don't know how they succeed, but I have put a hole in every single time. So I'd rather play it safe than put a hole. See, I don't even know what time it is because I don't have a noon. Okay. I didn't see the mailman come by. So I must have the late gal. I'm sending out a letter to one of the Wonky Block Square gals. Because see, now I can take this string on this side and it's all done. Don't put the horse before the cart. It has to have the binding, the sashing, whatever I call it today. But I thought I would just come on for a little bit and see what everybody else was doing today. And I have nothing else to do. No interruptions from little ones. And to see how everybody survived the Great Turkey Day. We had smoked turkey and ham. I don't know where the ham come from, but it was one salty ham. They asked if I wanted to take some ham home to make some beans. Well, I don't do beans. But they said you don't have to add salt. Even the pineapple that was put on the ham, you couldn't eat it. It was wicked. But that's the way it goes. I like green beans. I will eat a lima bean if it's in a good soup. I like split peas, which is I guess considered, but mainly it's just green beans. But I've been watching different surveys that have been done. You had ribeye steak? It's like Christmas, we're going to have another smoked turkey because I went down and spent my $155 and got a free turkey, and it was almost a 17 and a half pound turkey. So I called my son and he says, well, mine's not out of the freezer yet, so put it in your refrigerator. We'll use yours first. He said, then we'll use mine for Christmas. And he says, we don't have to worry about the bird because we got it. And then beans, I made so much stuffing. I dry my own bread. There wasn't even any of those bags of stuffing to buy. I did a brown loaf and a white loaf of bread, dried them, made my own stuffing. And beans, we only used half. I can do yeah. And they say the side dish, stuffing is number one, side dish for Thanksgiving dinner. And the cream of mushroom soup, green beans, is the least liked. Then they had some things on there that you could put other things that you liked or didn't like. And I thought, what? I've never heard of that being served with any holiday dinner. But it's amazing. Yeah, they had ribeye steak. I think it was Tuesday night. I think it was. Hi, G&B, Gayla. We had turkey. It was good. My son and I were not the best turkey eaters because grab the iron by the hot side. That works. The doctor told me it's a bacteria thing from the way the turkey's cooked. It stores in its bones. So I only eat very little of the turkey. I ate very little of the ham after tasting the piece of pineapple. Oh, yeah. Well, time for afternoon chores. So happy I was able to be on with you. And you have a great day. Rest of your day, Bernice. And see ya probably next week. Because I'm about to go also. Because I have to cut some strips. I'm stuck. I'm at a standstill of this project. I will leave it up on the wall. Oh, thank you, Bernice. But you guys all have a great day. And Darlene, if you're ready to sew, give me a minute or two, and then we can sew. I got to cut some strips. Bye, everybody.